Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Shakti Birthing Utopia. If you don't know me, I'm Lily Claire Love, and I'm so honored and excited to be here with you all today, to be here with Misha and Alexandra, and to really dive into the topics of women in leadership, in power, and the topics around money, sex, and spirit, and how it's time for us all to have it all, that it doesn't serve anyone for us to play small and live in scarcity or disconnection from our bodies, from our power anymore. So we want to do a quick drop in so we can just kind of come more present into our bodies, into our hearts, out of our heads. And then open up the space a little bit to engage with you, just hear, why you're here, if you're willing to share in the circle. So let's jump in, just closing your eyes. Just start to notice your body. Maybe bring your hands to your body, maybe one hand on your heart, one hand on your lower belly, your womb space. And just start to notice your breath. Notice any sensations. And just begin to expand and elongate your breath, like you're filling up your belly, your lower belly, like a balloon, and your diaphragm's pushing down. Breathing in through your nose and a deep exhale out your mouth. Inhale, fill up your belly like a balloon. Bring that breath all the way into the side rib cage. Exhale out your mouth. Inhale, filling yourself up. Holding the breath at the top and then powerfully out the mouth like dragon's breath. And bringing your hand in like a downward facing triangle over your womb space. And just really slowly, gently starting to draw a circle with your hips. It's like you're drawing a circle with your tailbone. And continue to breathe. You can inhale as your kind of hips draw forward towards your belly button, and exhale as your tailbone kind of pushes back behind you. And just really breathe and allow yourself to come deeper into the center of gravity of your hips and your womb and your sex center. Breathing, every breath in is an opportunity to receive what is, to become more present with what is. Every exhale is an opportunity to let go and create more space for new life. So inhaling, turning your hips. Exhaling, letting go. And just turning your hips the other way now. That feels good to you. And just notice what might be arising with your hands on your womb space, moving your hips. Notice if there's fear or sadness or feeling disconnection or maybe judgment in your mind. Just ironing out all of the kinks in your hips. And as we turn our hips and continue to breathe, making space for what's arising, we're going to allow this spiral to start to spiral up and originate from our belly button now, from our solar plexus. So that circle is starting to come from our solar plexus, letting our third chakra, our sense of self, lead the way. And if you're feeling disconnected, if you're feeling numb, if you're feeling like thoughts of inner judgment, know that this is where you begin to heal that, and you begin to come back to your body. Inhaling as this spiral continues upward and originates from your heart center now. So the center of your chest, spiraling from the center of your chest. So it's like opening your heart, your breasts, are open towards life. And exhaling, and you can kind of round your back behind you, so you're breathing into the back of your heart also. Don't forget your breath. And spiraling up. So this is originating now from your throat, letting your whole neck and your whole head be in this dance. And you might even feel like a little bit dizzy as you spiral. And just see if you can allow yourself to surrender into this spiral, into this Shakti, into this mystery of life. And spiraling up, originating from your third eye now. So spiraling from the center of your eyebrows, piercing through this space like you're piercing through all illusion. Piercing through to the truth of who you are, clarity, clear vision, and spiraling up to the top of your head as if you're wearing a crown on your head, a beautiful golden light, a crown made of light, whatever you desire. And that spiral on the top of your head, starting to become slower and smaller in the center of the spiral. Spiraling all the way in the center until you find the center of that spiral, and it's very slowly going to come to stillness, and then uncurl and spiral the other way. So we're going to bring all that energy of the spiral down now, bringing it from your beautiful crown to your third eye, spiraling the other way, spiraling down to your throat, opening up your voice, breathing, spiraling into your heart center, bringing that spiral of life down. Remember your cells, the DNA, the planets, everything is always spiraling and moving. It's just us that kind of feel that we have to control things and make everything stand still. And spiraling down into your belly button, breathing into your solar plexus, breathing into your I am. And spiraling back into your hips, slowing the spiral down as your tailbone paints that beautiful circle behind you, really isolating your hips, breathing and feeling yourself drop deep into your yoni, into your womb, into your whole sex center, feeling yourself connect to the earth beneath you, and finding the center of that spiral, slowly coming into stillness in the center of the spiral, and finding and feeling that flow of the center of the spiral through your whole being, your whole body. Take a couple of deep breaths, feeling your feet on the floor. Bringing your hands back to your womb space, this creative center. And even if you've had any surgery here, hysterectomy, this is still an energetic space of creation. The power of creation lives inside of you. especially as a woman. So tuning in to why you're here, why you showed up for this call, what drew you, what it is that you're desiring to create, what it is that you want. You can even just ask yourself, what do I want? What do I desire? What do I long to create in my life, in this world? And just taking some deep breaths and just being a space for that answer to arise within you.
And maybe if you don't want to speak the answer, you can just type it.
Mm.
But
Yeah.
speaking would be good.
Yeah, the power of the voice. Really activating that into the world of forms. So yeah, let's open it up. You can jump in, you can raise your hand, you can unmute yourself. And just share, your name and where you are in the world and why you're here. And again, you can type it in.
Maybe I'll start. What arose for me as we did this beautiful exercise, it was permission. First of all, I'm Alex. And yeah, the word permission came to mind, and it was just this energy that what we're seeking and what we get from being in community and sisterhood is permission to actually turn up the volume in those areas where maybe our volume has been quiet, because we all have an area where we've been loud, and we all have that area where we've been shut down, where we've kept it quiet. And to me, the coming together, and I speak for myself here, the coming together with sisters and the healing amongst sisterhood is really about permission to be loud, to be everything. And that is what I'm calling in before anything else, really. It's about being fully expressed, fully yourself, and also accepting the totality of every single woman that will join us. And so, and I want to remind you listening and that have showed up that in many ways, this is already the beginning of the journey of the retreat, and that you will get out of the retreat as much as you put in. And so, I know that we're Misha and Lily, we are all going to express what we came here for, why we're called to create this, and that the power lies in what are you bringing and what do you want to get out. And the clearer that is what you will get.
I love that, the permission. Anybody else want to jump in? Be brave.
I'll go.
Go.
What was arising for me was just the word sexuality. I love placing my hands on my womb, and I feel the ability to create there. So as I was putting my hands there, I was just honoring myself that I've created a baby, that I had a child, that there was a baby inside of there. And that is still such a miracle to me that I've done that. So this feeling of just this womb space is like, it's so sacred. It's such a sacred place for me, but I sometimes forget how sacred it is. And so as I think of myself on retreat and in this beautiful space in Mexico, which to me just looks and feels like it's going to be paradise. I've never been there before, but I know that what I'm going to get deeper into is that space of like my sacred sexuality, that sexuality doesn't have to be a dirty thing for me anymore. And I think sexuality has been a really scary place for me to explore, and somehow just feeling the womb and the connection to the creative energy that this place has created such a beautiful child. It reminds me how safe it is to be sexual. Like there is actually safety in my sexuality if I can tune into and feel the sacredness of it. And I have drifted from the sacredness of it. And part of that is because I think I haven't actually expressed, I mean, of course I've been expressing love through sexuality, but it feels like it's always been a physical love and not a sacred love. And so as I imagine myself on this beach, taking time in sisterhood to do this inner journey, that we will all be able to touch into this place of our sacred sexuality, which is my area of exploration now. I feel really solid and secure in my nervous system now. I feel my soul's in my body now, which that was completely outside of my body for many years. And so what I want to explore now is the deepening of that. And I look forward to and I feel like when I'm with other women, that helps me, because when I'm around a lot of masculine energy, I have a tendency to go back to those old patterns of kind of shutting down. And so I believe that the more I can get into that sacred sexuality in those soft movements with women, the more safe and more secure I'm going to feel in the sacredness. And so yeah, I feel really just excited about what we're going to experience on retreat together. And I also have this desire to actually, this might sound really weird, ladies, but I have this desire to like touch other women's wombs in a very gentle and loving way, but that way we're somehow like using maybe massage in a way where we're just, woman to woman, like I'm here as your sister to support the healing of that area, because I can feel it as I touch there. There's fear in there still. There's still fear in that womb, in this belly area. And so I can imagine that feeling like, healing the mother wound and healing my, any fears I might have still around, like, being, sacred around women, that could be really nurturing. And so that feels like an opportunity for all of us.
So glad you brought that in, and we'll be doing that in the retreat.
Yay!
And yeah, really at everybody's pace, but it's such a gift when we come together as women and we realize how natural that is for us to, we're each other's healers, we're our own healer and we're each other's healers, and that sacred, nurturing, and even sensual love and connection and touch and care that we share with each other and we can give to each other is so profound. I mean, when I was doing my deep kind of tantra training and sexological bodywork training, I'm in this room of women that are healing each other in this way, holding space for each other in this way. And doing, touching each other's bodies. And I was like, wow, oh my God, we've been doing this for centuries. And a long time ago, this was really, really the core and the heart of communities thriving, women coming together and holding this space. Lisa, I don't know if I'm muted or not. I'm Lisa. I'm from the States. I'm here because I'm just curious. Is this a pre-retreat meeting? So we wanted to hold a space to talk about all of this, whether people are coming on this retreat with us or not. But the way that we see it is the retreat has already started. This conversation that we're having and what we're diving into today, and it's not just a conversation, right? You might actually start to already tune into more like energy moving and things coming up for you to be seen and heard and released and cleared, so that you can become more fully embodied and empowered. So that's happening, and that's the work, and that's the work that we'll be going really deep in retreat together in May, because we'll be in the same space together for 7 days to really dive deep. So you're totally welcome here either way, and you're going to get a lot from this either way if you participate and take note of what's coming up for you. Does anyone else have anything that they want to share?
Yeah, maybe Lisa, if you want, you can, if you press it on your screen, there's a little area where you could see a microphone and you can unmute yourself.
It doesn't look like you're muted. And then in the bottom left corner, Lisa, or anybody, there's a mute button and there's a video button.
So in many ways, what is happening now with nobody, it's like people show up because you're here you are. So something has called you here. Mm-hmm. But then it's this, I don't know, I don't have anything to say. What do I have to say? Whatever's coming up. I don't know these people, or, it doesn't matter what's coming up, but it's that hurdle which I recognize in myself when I started doing this kind of work. Also, it was awkward. What do I have to say? Who am I to say something? But that is exactly what we want to break through. And when I say breakthrough, that can seem so praying open, but it's not that. It's we want to overcome that. And of course, it takes participation. It takes desiring to basically not feel this resistance, this blockage, this feeling. You want to be able to just be here and spontaneously, oh yeah, like we did as children. And where, do you want to play with me? Oh yeah, that sounds like a cool game. I'm in, And instead, and I see that so often, there is the curiosity, there is the desire to come and have something, but then you don't want to participate. You don't want to maybe show your vulnerability of saying, you know what, I actually don't know, or whatever it is for you. And in many ways, that is the energy that we will be holding on retreat. It's like we can sit with anything, whatever arises for any of us. The idea is we sit with it all. And no matter what arises, when it arises, and there will be a lot of arisings for all of us of all kinds, we'll experience explosive highs and liberations, and we'll experience contractions and fears and anger and it's like, well, that's what we're here to do. That is the work. The work is not to come and sit and listen, but it's let's come together and just feel. And it's through the feeling and then through the expressing, oh, I am feeling this. This is what's arising for me. I didn't plan this, but here it is. And knowing that everything that arises for you, no matter what it is divine. And it will be treated as divine, and it will be treated as our medicine. And to have that experience, that gives you actually permission to then just be yourself, which is what it's the one permission we all actually look for, is it safe to be me? Not is it safe to be sexy, is it safe to be a goddess, is it safe to be me in every moment? Because sometimes I'm a goddess and sometimes I'm a dork, you know? And like both are real, and both have their place, and both are sacred, and both want to be received with equal welcome, you know? And so nothing needs to be shunned, and that is the energy that we are bringing to the retreat, that we will be holding in retreat, and to just allow things to unfold. And that is enormous spaciousness, you know? And in many ways, that is scarier than anything, because it would be far easier to come and say, we're going to be doing this and this and this, and all you need to do is follow, and then off you go home like a baked cake. That's not going to happen. You know, it's about coming together and feeling all the discomforts, all the areas where, right now I would like to say something, but I don't even know how to say it. I don't even know what I feel, but I feel something. Yeah, well, there's a week. There's a week to just, and that is the powerful work.
Yeah, there's it's a co-creation rather than a consumerism, which we're so used to in our society, of just kind of consuming stuff, rather than truly participating, truly co-creating. And I really get that piece around the voice, and it feels kind of like being paralyzed in a way. It feels like freezing, that freeze response. And I lived like this most of my life, just, you know, being in when I first started like going to workshops and being in circles and things, I was absolutely terrified to speak, terrified to have any attention on me. And it was like, even when I really felt like I had something to say, it felt almost like a strangling, and it felt like just a complete freeze in my body of I can't say this, or, you know, I'm going to be judged, or I don't have anything of value to share. Or even like, I don't know what I feel. I don't know what I desire. I don't know what I want. And, you know, for us to have desire, we have to have an I. We have to have a sense of self. For there to be any want, for there to be any desire, for there to be any longing, you know, and awareness and attunement to what that is, like what I want and what I don't want. We have to have a sense of self. There has to be an I to want something. And I love what's happening right now, what's just coming up in the field, because this is the work. This is what we're here for. So yeah, and just my kind of intention, or, you know, what came in when I put my hands on my womb and I asked, like, what do I want? I was like, I want nothing less than that heaven on earth, for not just myself, for all of us. And, you know, in maybe a more like, you know, tangible, practical way, like what is heaven on earth? And there's no lack, there's no scarcity. And on the pathway to that, like there's freedom, there's fullness, there's that freedom to be, like you were talking about, Alex, There's abundance, there's pleasure, there's enjoyment, there's laughter, there's, you know, all of the kinds of expressions of love and health possible in our earth, in our self, in our relationships, in our expression, our creativity, and along the pathway to creating that, there's going to be all of this. There's going to be all of the spaces and places that we have to hold and look at and be with and feel and move with and embrace and accept, that are not congruent with that kind of reality. So, you know, this to me is that it's being in process with all of the pieces inside of me that feel not worthy, all of the pieces inside of me that feel afraid of diving into the realms of sexuality, or the realm, or feel like, you know, money is having money is greedy, or whatever the things are that feel disconnected from my body, or disconnected from other women, or angry at men, whatever it is, like all of that is welcome here, and all of that is coming up for us to see it and love it and have a relationship with it, rather than continue to dodge it and leave it in the shadows and not be clear in ourselves. So I'm feeling like just doing like a little bit of energetic clearing right now, around what we're all sensing in this field. And I'm sure you can all kind of feel it. It's kind of like this low energy of like, can't, you know, kind of wanting to break free, but it's like, so I'm just going to invite everyone to kind of take some deep breaths and tune back into your body and feel your feet on the floor. You can close your eyes if that feels comfortable to you. And just notice the sensations in your body. Notice maybe where you feel some tension, where you feel some tightness, some contraction or fear. And breathe into that place in your body. You can put your hand on that place in your body. And just really, it's like drop your mind into that part of your body. Let your mind be an ally to really place your attention here, and breathe in and just tune in and get curious about it. Like, what is that sensation in your body look like? If you could kind of put a shape to it, what kind of shape does it have? And you can kind of just self-inquire. And what kind of texture does it have? If you could touch that in your body, what does it feel like to touch? And keep breathing. And what's the temperature? Is it hot or cold? And just, you can say this out loud or internally to that sensation, to that emotion, whatever it is. I'm here. I'm listening to you. I have space for you. What message do you have for me? And just breathing, letting that part of you receive your presence, receive your full attention, receive your acceptance, even if there's resistance. Hey, resistance, I'm here. I know I'm resisting being here and accepting you and feeling this, but I'm here. I'm making space for you. And so just wanting to clear in the field on our physical, in our physical bodies, our energetic, our emotional, and our mental, all the way down, deep down into our subconscious, in all time, space, realities, and planes of existence, anywhere where we have silenced ourselves, anywhere where we have felt silenced by others, anywhere where we are holding on to fear about expressing our truth. So we're just clearing this in the field, and you might feel things, and I want you to really keep breathing, and maybe you might need a yawn or stretch to help that energy move. So yeah, just clearing where women in all time, space, and dimensions have been silenced, where we've been told by and sold, and we've bought the lie that our voices are not valuable, that our power is to be feared, that our power is evil and from the devil, and that our sexuality is to be feared and is not sacred. Deep breath. And that it's not safe for us to speak our truth. It's not safe for us to connect with our desire and own our desire and own our boundaries, to have a clear relationship with our yes and a clear relationship to our no, and to speak that into the world. So we reclaim the power and the presence of our sovereign selves, of our higher selves, of our divine self, and we marry that back with our human self, our body. We marry our spirit and our sexuality as sacred and divine. As the sexual energy and our womb space and our yonis being this portal, our bodies being a portal for a divine to come through into the world of forms. We reclaim that, and we reclaim our sense of self, our self-worth, our self-esteem, to want, to desire, to have. We reclaim our birthright to pleasure. We reclaim the power of our voices and the power of expressing our truth. We release all of the shackles around our throat and our womb space. And we reclaim deep down into the cells of our body, our bones, and our nervous systems, that our word is good. Our word is sacred. Our word creates realities. Our word and our womb creates new worlds. And we speak our truth from love and from power. And that power is love, that we use our power with love. So take some deep breaths. I want to give a little shake into your wombs. And if you're still noticing, I'm feeling the energy shifted a lot, but if you're still noticing any fear or resistance, just continue to breathe, continue to shake. And just saying thank you. Thank you for arising, for me to see you and shift you and heal you so that I can receive and reconnect with who I really am and what I'm really here to be and do in the world. Just feeling your feet on the earth and feeling an anchor rooting you into the earth to just feel really grounded. And any emotions that may have arisen or coming up for you, just being with those, embracing those. You can even give yourself a hug. What are you noticing, Alex?
Yeah, I was just reflecting, also what you were saying earlier, that really I feel a lot of us, just as when we started this journey, I mean, I had no idea that it was all about going to our discomfort and repeatedly, and we still do on a daily basis, just that we have no more resistance to our discomfort. And so, I would offer that to those listening, because I think it's easy to maybe, from your viewpoint, it's easy to look at us and go, oh, look at them. They can just talk about this and, and sort of like go into judgment or stories or whatever comparison. And that actually there is no difference between me and you. The only difference is that we have made peace with the fact that in order to grow, we repeatedly need to go to our age. And it's almost like that is what we learn on retreat. And then then it's like, oh, okay, oh, there's a new age, right, boom, in. And I'm going to use my voice, and I'm going to use my body, and I'm going to use, and whatever arises then is just new grist for the mill. But I feel initially we don't know that because we haven't been taught, and because we've been taught that from school, you sit, we teach, so it's from the top down, you get information. Whereas here we're saying, this is the space that is being held. These are our kind of stakes in the ground. This is what we want. This is what we're working towards. This is a focus, right? Because I mean, this is it's not a cooking class. We're putting a focus in here. And by doing that, we do not let anything leak outside of this focus. And it's kind of like, but we are cooking. So we're cooking ourselves. In fact, I think it was Rumi who said something to the effect of, you're here to be, I don't know what, if he uses the word cooking or baked or burning, but it's that kind of, you're here to be burnt, to cook, to perfect, to cook and then cook some more. And if you haven't been cooked, then you're raw, you're undone. And so you need to come and enter the ring of fire. You need to say, okay, I see that this is my next age and it's uncomfortable and I don't want to do it. But I come with all of that. So it's not come with your perfection. No, we're all perfect in certain things, but here we're coming with our imperfection, all of us, with our, not even perfection, with our rawness, with our uncookedness. And we proclaim, okay, this is what I want for me. Or I want to end, just like only a year ago for me, I still had so many sister wounds. And eventually I decided, you know what, I'm fucking tired of carrying these sister wounds. I want fucking sisters, and they better show the fuck up now, because I'm ready. And I don't care what, I'm ready to be raw and real and to be a dork and silly and sexy and wild and all of that. But I need my sisters now. And guess what? They show up from all sides. They're like, whoop, 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 like mushrooms. And they still, because here you are. So you are an answer to my prayer. It's like, oh, more sisters. And that is the beauty of this work. It's like, whatever you are tired of carrying, it doesn't matter that you still carry it and that you still see yourself as not able to overcome it. Whether it's money, sex, power, manifesting the fullness of who you are in any direction or in one direction in particular. It doesn't matter how big or how small your dream is. If it's there, if it's even just a tiny flame that's burning, we are saying, bring it. Let's make it bigger. Like, use us. Lean in. Why? Because there is nothing more beautiful than that, than doing it together, than igniting one another. So that is the invitation. It's enter the ring of fire and say, right, I'm tired of this. I still got it sticking like shit to me. but I'm ready, help me. And that is what it takes. The women that I see transform radically are those women that say, you know what? Yes, I've got all this shit, but I'm tired of it. I am ready to be who I decide to be. And whatever you decide to be, whatever you wish to be, you are already. That's the irony. It's just that it's covered by all the stuff that is not even yours. It's from our ancestors. It's from the programming, right? And so we simply have done the work of taking off kind of like the big thick layer. And now it's just the unraveling. And therefore we can say, yeah, no matter how much shit you think you got sticking, let me show you what's underneath it. And underneath every one of us is just pure beauty, gold, and gifts to be revealed. And so that's why we want all of you. The more shit you have, the more gold you have.
I love that difference between staying in your shit and continuing to tell the story of your shit versus like, I'm sick of my shit and I it's still here. Yeah, it's still happening and I'm done with it. So we're getting out.
Yeah. Even if I don't know how, because I mean, how stuck were we at some point where really it seemed like a straitjacket. I don't know how to get out of this. But all I know is I'm tired of it and I'm ready to get help.
Yeah.
And I don't care where the help comes from. And I'm ready to also open up and trust. And you will know. Does it feel safe? Even though it feels scary, because it is going to feel scary. But does it somehow weirdly feel scary? Okay, that's all you need to know. I mean, not scary, safe. Mm-hmm. Does it somehow feel safe? Then it's trusting yourself. Go with that. And then it's by you putting the stake in the ground and saying, this is it. And that is really the invitation for the retreat. The invitation is to come and to be done with something and to say, this is where I put my stake in the ground. This is where I pledge my money towards, as we have all done numerous times, to say, this, I'm going to make this mean this. So whatever you want to make it mean, that is what you will get out of. And make it mean something big. Because if you only come with, oh, well, I'll be happy if I only get this out of it. Well, that's what you'll get. But if you come with a long list of stuff and you say, you know what, 3 of you, I'll put you to the test. I want all of this. Guess what you get? Every single time. And that has been one of the biggest lessons. When I was asking for this much, or like, excuse me for even asking for this little much, but I'll try. Maybe.
Is it okay if I have this little breadcrumb?
Yeah. It's just a little. It's all I want because I'm a good person. Right? We all have those stories. And then what do you get? The fucking breadcrumb. And then you say, why did I just get the fuck? That's fucked up. I just got the fucking breadcrumb. I tried to ask for little so that maybe I would get a little bit more. Right? We all have played those games. And then until we finally go, okay, fuck this shit. I want all. I wanted everything. I want everything possible and more. I'm even opening myself up to that which I can't yet fathom because I'm still stuck in my shit. And then what happens? An avalanche. And then the only thing, and that's been my experience, so I'm not talking from, books here. My experience is that when I finally went, okay, well, fuck, let's just go for it, right? What happens? Then the energy is, can you actually handle the amount of goodness that starts coming your way? That is what I experienced. It's like, oh my goodness. Whoa, okay, let me take a little pause here, a little breather. I'm ready.
Yeah, and it won't stop. Yeah, and it just, it's obviously like what we create in that container of the retreat is so powerful, and that having that like long list of really claiming like what you want in all areas of your life, and then seeing that unfold when you leave the retreat, just domino effect in your life is magnificent and huge.
There's a beautiful saying that, I mean, in like 7 minutes, I need to get off because I've got another call.
Oh yeah.
But what I want to leave everything with is there's a beautiful saying. Someone's saying it's like a mini poem. I always forget who writes the stuff, but the essence is, it when you get filled up again with love, it will feel like everything that you ever lost, that you ever thought was lost, will be returned to you. And I remember reading this probably like a year ago, and when I read that, it's like something, it's like, oh yes, because we all know we have lost so much, and we have felt like what we have lost will never be returned again. And therefore, the story that we then make up is, okay, so I've lost all of this. So now I'm going for fucking substitutions. Because I can't have that. That's my belief now. I can't have that. I've lost it. It's been taken from me. Whatever it is, typically your innocence in all areas, right? And then we go, I'll take substitutions. Yeah, that'll be good enough. And that's a lie. That never works. Never, ever works. It may look from the outside like it's working, but unless you have exactly what you desire, the way you desire it, you need to have everything that you desire, because if you don't, there will never be fulfillment. And that's why so many people spin around in circles, and whether they climb up the corporate ladder 3-4 times up and down, or whatever you do, you will not get satisfied. You can't get satisfaction. Why? Because you are not going after your deepest soul desire, which is specific to you.
Yeah, and that receptivity piece of like, can you handle it, is huge, because it's why so many of us resist and close down and don't receive, aren't a container to receive money or love or pleasure, whatever it is, because receptivity is a vulnerable place to be, right? When we're in receptivity, we're open, we're vulnerable, we're open to be hurt, or to be disappointed, or for life to like throw a tidal wave at us. And so it's in those moments of, now, okay, I've done this stretching and this opening, and then when it's coming, when all of that goodness is here, doing the stretching and the opening and the grounding in to receive it, for it to be that good, even in the vulnerability of all of the fear of it, going away.
Yeah, I'm going to tune out, and I'm going to leave you with, can you handle it? Like, meditate on that, because that is the invitation, underneath all of it, it's, can you handle it?
Thanks, love.
Thank you.
Misha, do you want to share any last words?
Yeah, I'd like to say that, sometimes we don't know what we really want, but there's a desire, right? I know but the clarity isn't quite there. And so, that I am that you were talking about, Lily, I think, that's, in a way, that's the first step. That's the important piece in terms of that first step is, tuning into our bodies to know what we feel is part of the oh, I'm not happy and satisfied actually with those breadcrumbs. But see, sometimes we've been just nurturing ourselves with breadcrumbs our whole life, we don't, that desire isn't sometimes sparked. And so it's kind of like, admitting that, oh, I'm really not happy with the way that it is now. And sometimes, in the past, I haven't even known that I'm not okay, because there's such a high threshold for pain. Actually, there's such a high threshold for suffering, and it's unconscious suffering. So it's almost like bringing consciousness then to the suffering, and actually claiming, like we were saying, I'm fucking pissed. This doesn't feel good. This isn't right. Something about this is not serving me. Is that feeling of awakening, that is the first step of that awakening. And that from there, then it starts to become clear, oh, I really want that. And it's tuning into our imagination, just the power of our imagination. And I feel, for me, it's meditation. I mean, that's where all of the, when I'm in those body trances, or I'm in the breath, or I'm in the mantra, or I'm in the even a very deep relaxation, a guided relaxation, in that softening where I'm not trying to do anything. It's just whatever genius is needing to come through me, or however God wants to move through me, that's when it becomes very clear. And so it's for me, it's just this daily practice of, okay, what am I feeling? What wants to move through me? How can I serve myself? How can I serve the world in a way that's going to bring more good to everyone? And yeah, so it's first the I amness. I feel this, I want this. And then that, when all of that is so clear, then, okay, I'm going to get it, and I'm going to have it, and I'm worthy of it. So yeah, it's a real, it's moving up the chakras, if you're not connected to the root of who you are and what you feel and those basic comforts, then it's hard to actually, dream in your third eye of like, wow, I want that. First, it's just, so what I want to say is that there's no rush. Like we're going to take it at the pace that is natural for all of us, while still being challenged, but also not pushed. There's no forcing of the design of our life, that we have to learn lessons as we go, and what is, healthy for us and feels unconditionally supportive as well. So
yeah, thank you. Thanks for saying all of that. Really powerful. Doing a simple, journaling practice of like, I am, I want, I feel, and just like mind dumping it all out, womb dumping it all out. I am, I want, I feel, and bringing that into meditation practice. So the details for the retreat, if you are feeling called, are May 10th to the 17th, and it's in Tulum, Mexico. It's absolutely gorgeous. We have a house on the beach, like all to ourselves. And we're going to be doing Living Mucus Free, which is Alexandra's kind of cellular detoxification. So if you don't know about that, you can learn more about that following her on Facebook. And so we're going to be really clearing out our physical vessels, and then doing deep Kundalini yoga and activations with Misha, a lot of breath work and mantra, and really getting connected to our divinity, our sovereignty, our I am. And then we're also going to be diving into the feminine embodiment practices and sexual healing and sexual nourishment and sisterhood and motherhood stuff, and creativity and dance and play and being on the beach and relaxing and filling ourselves up. So we're doing, deep work, and we're filling ourselves up to get so filled up and nourished to go out back into our world and our lives. And whatever, if you have a piece of you that's like, I want to be there, but there's some kind of but, then I really invite you to really, challenge that but and see if it's like a really real but, or it's just kind of an excuse to, and a fear to block you from really stepping into receiving all of this and all of who you are. You can reach out to any of us, or you can apply for the retreat. And I'm just going to get the link that I didn't have ready for you. But you can head over to my website, any of our websites. Mine, I'm going to drop it in the chat box for you here, and apply and have a call with us. Just book a call with us, and we can chat and see if, you know, it feels like it's right for you to come, and however else we might be able to support you on this journey. Just anything that came up for you on this call, feel free to also, you know, reach out and share that with us. And yeah, I'm sending you so much love. I'll see you soon.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.